If you told me a year ago that a couple of careless words could burn my entire world to the ground, I would have laughed in your face. Honestly, I would have. But here I am, alone in a house that suddenly feels too big, trying to piece together how my so-called honesty turned into a weapon. My name's Lindsay, I'm 32, and this is the story of how my pride cost me the only man who ever truly had my back. It started like most disasters do. Not with an explosion, but with something so small and ordinary you wouldn't even notice until the aftershocks hit. For months, I'd been pouring myself into a new marketing job, grinding through night classes, interviews, and endless rejection. When I finally landed that position, it was like the clouds parted. For the first time in my life, I was making real money. Not treat yourself to coffee money. I mean, walk into Nordstrom and grab whatever you want money. I was strutting through Target like a movie star, ordering food without peeking at the prices, feeling like I'd finally made it. I'd earned this? Or at least, that's what I kept telling myself. But Darren, my husband of 5 years, the man who had stood by me through job after job and every single late-night meltdown, he didn't see it the same way. It's almost funny, looking back, how quickly things shifted. The first sign? That stupid bag. I found this caramel-colored tote online, nothing crazy, just something pretty I thought would make my workdays feel special. It cost $400. To me, it was a reward. To Darren, it was a red flag. I walked through the door, swinging the bag like I was showing off a trophy, half expecting him to whistle or tease me about my taste. Instead, he glanced up from his phone and asked, "How much was that?" That one question flipped my whole mood. I hated it. It felt like a parent scolding a child, and I snapped. "Don't worry about it. I paid for it with my money." I saw it in his eyes. The way he winced, how his jaw tightened just a bit. I didn't care. I felt entitled. I'd worked for this. But his next words cut deeper than I'd ever admit. "Your money? I thought it was our money. I'm still the one paying all the bills, Lindsay." That should have been the moment I paused, the moment I saw the first crack. But I was high on my own success. Instead of letting it go, I hit him with the line that's haunted me ever since. "Well, maybe if you made more, I wouldn't have to spend mine." And the worst part? I said it with a laugh, like I was being cute, when really I was driving the first wedge between us. He just nodded. "All right, Lindsay. I see where you're at now." He didn't fight. He didn't even raise his voice. He just walked out of the room, leaving me with my trophy bag and my empty victory. I sat there, arms crossed, daring him to come back and argue. He didn't. Not that night, not the next day. I went to bed scrolling through TikTok, pretending not to care. When I woke up the next morning, the house felt emptier. Darren had left for work early, like always, but there was a sticky note on the fridge. "I'm taking $300 from savings for the car. Just letting you know." Since I'm the only one adding to it, the pettiness stung more than I'll admit. Every little thing after that turned into a jab. If I ordered takeout, he'd ask, "Is that your money or our money?" At the grocery store, if I reached for the fancy stuff, he'd hand me the generic. "Since you're rich now, maybe you can cover it." It wasn't just Darren. My best friend Maya, always my hype woman, told me, "Sis, are you sure you're not being a little selfish though?" I wanted to clap back, but her words stung because deep down I knew she was right. The turning point came on a drive back from Darren's mom's house. The silence was thick, heavier than any fight we'd ever had. He asked, out of nowhere, "Do you think I'm holding you back?" I didn't even look at him, just shrugged. "I mean, I didn't say that. But you kind of are." Those words came out like nothing, but now I can't stop hearing them in my head. Later that night, he was packing. Not just an overnight bag. He grabbed his work shoes, his laptop, his charger, all the little things he usually left behind. I felt my heart drop, but I covered it with attitude. "Where are you going?" I asked. He looked me in the eye and said, "Somewhere I don't have to feel like I'm holding you back." Then he was gone. I tried to convince myself he'd come back. I spent that night lying awake, scrolling through old messages, watching the shadows stretch across the ceiling. Every hour felt like another mile between us. The next morning, I woke up to silence. No text, no call. Day 2, nothing. By day 3, I was checking his location, but he'd turned it off. That, more than anything, made me panic. I called his brother Tyrell. He just said, "He's good, Lindsay." That was it. The helplessness was like drowning. My appetite vanished. Every sound made me jump. I spent hours sitting at the kitchen table, staring at the door, praying he'd walk through it. On day 6, I got a notification from the bank, $6,500 transferred to new account. Darren had drained our savings, leaving just over $300 behind. That was the money we were saving for emergencies. But I guess to him, this was an emergency. The betrayal hit me like a freight train. I called. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Nothing. I got in my car and drove to Michelle's house. Darren's sister. I didn't call, didn't text. I just pulled up and rang the bell over and over, desperate. She answered in her robe, looking tired. He doesn't want to see you right now. I tried to push past her, but she stood her ground, voice low and steady. If you step in this house, we'll see how that works for you. She shut the door in my face. I stood on that porch, fists clenched, biting back tears. I refused to break down in front of her. I waited in my car, watching the house, hoping he'd come out. He didn't. Instead, I got a text from Michelle, "You need to chill. Y'all both need space, space." That word felt like a prison. I barely slept that night. My mind was a constant reel of every petty comment, every selfish purchase, every time I'd rolled my eyes instead of listening. I checked his location again. Nothing. Then, I saw a post on Facebook. Darren, out with his cousin Sean, grinning, holding a drink. He looked relaxed, happy, like none of this was eating him alive. I felt my chest tighten, jealousy and regret warring inside me. Just as I was about to toss my phone, he texted, "I'll be by this weekend to get the rest of my stuff. I'll text before I come." My hands shook as I replied, begging him not to do this. No answer. Just a read receipt. The final nail in the coffin. When Saturday came, every sound set me off. I kept peeking out the window, praying this was some nightmare. When I heard his key in the lock, my heart nearly stopped. He walked in, all business, no warmth. I tried to stop him, to get him to fight for us, to say something. Anything. That would make him stay. But he just kept packing, each shirt, each pair of socks, like he was removing pieces of our life together. Finally, I lost it. "So you're just going to leave? You're not even going to fight for us?" He turned, eyes cold. "Fight for someone who thinks I'm a joke? You told me I was holding you back, Lindsay. You know how that sounds." My voice caught in my throat. I reached for him, my pride in tatters. "Please, Darren, I'm sorry. I was mad, I didn't mean it." He just looked at me, tired. "I know you didn't mean it. But I'm tired of waiting for you to figure it out." He took my hand off his arm, gently, and walked out. I broke down on the floor after he left. The grief was physical. A twisting, aching thing that wouldn't let go. I called, I texted, I begged. Nothing. Days blurred together in a haze of regret and self-loathing. When his sister finally texted me, "He's done trying to make it work," it felt like my entire chest caved in. Even my kids asked where he was. I told them sometimes people need space, that sometimes people grow apart. But the truth is, sometimes you push people away because you're too proud to admit you need them. I went to Michelle's to get his stuff, and the look in her eyes, more disappointment than anger, haunted me the whole drive home. I sat with his things, replaying every moment, every choice that led us here. All the things I'd bought, the arguments I'd started, the words I'd used to cut him down instead of building him up. I didn't realize how much he did for us until he was gone. All I can do now is hope he finds happiness, even if it's not with me. If you're reading this, Darren, know that I finally get it. I see everything you did for me, for us. I was too blind, too selfish to appreciate it. I hope one day I can forgive myself for letting you go. I don't know what happens next, or if there's even a way back. But I know I'll never make the same mistake again. I lost the best thing I ever had. And the worst part is, I was the one who let go.